Meet the new Dacia Sandero. This is the BiFuel, meaning it runs on petrol and LPG, and it offers around 50 to the gallon. Now the price is quite unbelievable. You're talking about 12 grand. It's a bargain, and it comes fully loaded as well. Rain sensing wipers, automatic lights, reversing camera, even rear parking sensors. Now I think the biggest change with Dacia is the styling. What they've done with the front is rather impressive. Completely new grille, and you've got quite a deep chunky bumper as well, with some honeycomb styling. And look, a clamshell bonnet. We do love our clamshells. This looks so different to the earlier one. The earlier one looked dated and small. Well, to be honest, this is built far better. It's got far better looks, slimmed down headlamps, rather funky daytime running lights, and even things like Dacia idents in the headlamp cluster. Front fogs, and this is iron blue, but this is an option of around £600. But it still stands the car at 12,600. Value is just crazy. Alloy wheels, keyless entry and keyless go too. It does exactly what it says on the tin. Offers a nice little, I don't suppose it's little in comparison now to the earlier one. It's quite a bit bigger.
Dacia have cornered the market for economical and reliable cars, and to continue with their mission, they joined the Renault Group in 1999. Sandero has been their best-selling model since its launch in 2008. The model we have is the Comfort TCE 100 BiFuel, and it's the first car we've driven that's partially powered by LPG. There are a number of trims in the range, including the Essential and the Comfort. Powertrains to choose from. Prices for the range start at just under £10,000.
Now, as I mentioned, it's BiFuel. So, let's find a petrol cap release first and have a look. Easily findable petrol cap release here. Also, an LPG button. We'll try that in a moment. Now you get an adapter for this, and this is where you fill it with LPG, and that's just petrol. LED daytime running lights all around, and this BiFuel. There's not many vehicles now that offer you petrol and LPG.
LPG is cleaner, more eco-friendly, easy to use, and extends driving range to around 800 miles.
As for the styling on the rear, it just works. Dacia have done such a good job with this design. It flows smoothly, nice chunky fonts, and this new range of vehicles has really lifted Dacia's presence. It really has. Decent ride height as well, meaning you can be a little adventurous. And it's all finished off with a high level brake light and a sporty rear spoiler. And it really does look the part in iron blue. I've just noticed it's got a rather nice sloping roof line as well. It'd be interesting to see if that affects the rear headroom. I don't think it will.
Let's have a look.
As I mentioned, keyless entry, decent ride height, meaning nice and easy to get into. With a price bracket of this, you expect hard plastics throughout, but I didn't expect to have cloth all the way along this, because normally you just have cloth, say, here. Nice touch. Decent door pocket as well. Nice big door opening, but no grab handle above the driver's side. It's just simple. Lots of hard plastics, but they've also put this trim on the dash as well, and it lightens it up very nicely. What I have noticed on this latest Sandero is the windscreens, I suppose, tapered back more, which makes it far more sporty, but it means that it's not quite as big as the previous gen. Still great visibility though. Sporty seats, quite buckety as well. I love the stitching and the fabric, ergonomically designed headrests. Looks rather cool. Old school handbrake, and yes, chunky plastic, but nice sturdy build quality. 2 cup holders and a 12 volt hidden here. And a lot of our viewers are going to love rotary dials. Nice easy buttons to press, things like eco, and you start stop. You can turn it off there. But these dials, yeah, they are, the switchgear does have a bit of movement in it, but the bottom line is, it does what it says on the tin. I like these mini buttons as well, very cool. And look, start engine stop button as well. Automatic lights, rain sensing wipers, and you've got an LPG button here, and you can disable your parking sensors too. All round electric windows and power operated mirrors as well. It's an interesting way to put this as well, because if you've noticed, it's a bit higher than say other cars of this ilk, as it were. Annabelle's just pointed out an interesting thing as well. It's all kind of angled at the driver, even from this point and then this point. So it gives you a nice kind of cockpit feel. Reach and rake in the steering wheel, and it's 6'3". I've got decent headroom as well. It's a nice comfortable driving position. And yeah, the seats are comfy too. Let's get into the rear. The door opens nice and wide. It's a decent door opening as well. Simplicity. And if I lean right back, my hair does brush, but bear in mind I'm 6'3". I've just noticed I have an armrest on the front as well. Amazing. Hard plastics again, and yeah, there's no padded area on the rear door, which is quite sad, but yet again, it makes sense. This is such a bargain car, it really is. Decent cup holder. I've got an electric window as well. And it would have been nice to see these lightened up a bit, but it is what it is. Back pockets on the back of the seats, and there's a 12 volt that I mentioned before that can be used either for the front or the rear. Decent leg room, and I can get my feet under the seat. Reduced transmission tunnel, and you've got a light headliner as well, making it nice and light and airy. You can see airbags around the vehicle, and they've got isofixes as well. And it's rather comfortable. And to be honest, in the back of here, it's far more comfortable than say far more pricier cars. Dacia are really doing something right, they really are. I have noticed on the key ring, if I press this button, it turns the lights on, so you can find me in a car park. Well, the car. I can release the boot with this button here. Wall's open. Yeah, you do have a fair chunk of a boot lip, you really do. Also, there's no guarding here, but it is ridged, so it helps with loading. It's a decent sized boot. Shopping bag hooks, interior light here, and inflation kit on the right hand side too. If I lift up the carpet, and that strange thing is likely something to do with LPG. I'm not that familiar with LPG, so it's interesting to drive an LPG car, to be honest. 60/40 folding seat, quite easily get your shopping in there, and you drop the seats, you get a mountain bike in there. It's easily removable parcel shelf, and to drop the seats you just pull this little tab here. Now because there's no false floor, there is a bit of a height difference, but no, all in all, it's good storage. Good morning and welcome to the Cotswolds. We're behind the wheel of the Dacia Sandero. This is a Comfort 100 TCE, it's 1 litre, and it's BiFuel as well. And we've got a manual 6-speed box. It's quite peppy. I've been wanting to get my mitts on one of these for quite some time. Steering's weighting up very nicely. And the thing about the Sandero is, well, Dacia in general, to be honest, they offer reliable and rather cost-effective solutions on motoring. So you've got the Duster, you've got the Sandero, you've got the Sandero Stepway as well, and soon the Jogger. This is such an easy car to drive. Lovely leather-wrapped steering wheel as well. Now the last Dacia that was driven on the channel, it was the old Sandero. We drove it at Millbrook.
It feels ages ago now, doesn't it, really?
Well, yeah, it is. It's probably, what, 3 years?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Thanks to the lockdown from the pandemic, yeah.
And it's changed so much, it really has. Nice cornering.
Peppy engine.
I was going to say, it's quick enough.
Yeah.
Now, Dacia basically go for simplicity. Yeah, lots of little toys and things. But for example, you look at the cluster and it's just analog clocks with a little fuel computer in the middle. I love the way that you've got an old school handbrake and a nice short shift on the box as well. And if Annabelle pans round, you'll see got a reversing camera as well.
Really nifty.
And I would say this is 3-cylinder. It's a nice comfortable ride. Yeah, you do get body roll, but you don't really want a car like this to be as stiff as a rock. You want something nice and pliable. The suspension's interesting. You feel potholes, but it's also coming down here. It's nice and comfortable. You do get a bit of road noise. The ride's nice and comfortable. And there's an Alpine. Putting the suspension through its paces.
It's handling it really well though.
Oh, I love the tone of a 3-cylinder. It's quite rapid, to be honest. You'll have no problem getting up to speed on A roads, joining motorways as well. If you put your foot down, do it quite easily. Brakes are good. You've got hill start assist. You've got a fair bit of safety in here as well. It's a very pleasurable experience to do this in the new Sandero, to be honest. Even in third gear, then going up that steep hill, absolutely no problem. Power when you need it. Into fourth gear, it's still pulling. Fifth at 30. Yeah, it's not lightning fast, but it still just plods up this hill.
And it's quite a steep hill, isn't it?
It is. Let's try sixth gear. It's nice to have in economy gear. There's not much power there. You can happily sail along at 60 miles an hour. Let's try a little more exuberant driving. Corners well.
Yeah, it seems to have power to spare as well.
Oh, I could have some fun in this. Look at the hairpins. Amazing.
I think people will be able to see what's going on with the wibbly wobbly cameras.
People need to know that the Sandero can perform on a back road. No, it grips very well. What's it like as a passenger?
It's very comfortable. There's not much body roll. I mean, yes, I'm experiencing a bit more, but I'm not holding on to anything. But I've got a grab handle.
You don't want it too stiff.
No, because it would make long journeys insufferably painful.
Yeah, exactly. Just floor it.
I could see going long distance in this, no problem at all.
Oh yeah, on the motorway.
Yeah, it would be a really comfy ride, actually. Got good visibility.
Oh, we're leaning a bit now. Well, that was quite a sharp bend with a crazy camber. The gearbox is relatively smooth. You feel a little bit of notchiness, but nothing to write home about. And as I mentioned, the fact it's a nice short shift is very good.
Mirror of a wheel spin there.
Yeah. You're willing to floor it. It gets up to 60 rather quickly, actually.
Yeah, it's punchy, isn't it?
It is. Let's try LPG. How's this work? Right, LPG is now flashing. Does this mean we're now running on LPG? So we're now running on LPG. Yeah, I'm impressed with the new Sandero. No, Dacia's come a long way. It really has.
But they managed to do that and keep the price down as well, which is a really big thing.
Yeah.